Welcome guys! Oh my god, here we go! The most groundbreaking patch for PUBG ever, and by far the boldest. PUBG ventures into a destructible environment with bombs and rocket launchers. Not to talk about the gliders that right now just got added to the live servers. These are exciting times as PUBG does what it can to keep the gameplay fresh. This starts with the new map Karakin, a 2x2 64-player map located off the coast of Northern Africa. A rocky environment that reminds me the most of a training map or perhaps Miramar. It's going to be fast-paced combat, similar to that you know from Sanhok, but with the outdoor combat that you know from Miramar. And the fights will, interestingly, mostly take place around the edges of the map, as the center of the map is scarce with buildings and loot. Underground combat will also be a thing on this map, with these underground areas that enable you to move around on the map without being exposed to the dangers of the surface. And you can even get rich down here, as finding gold will grant you 5,000 BP! No, I'm just kidding. It's just there to look good. The main feature of the map is its destructible environment. Constantly, loud sirens and loud bomb noises occupy the sound table of the map as buildings are blasted to oblivion inside the so-called dark zones. The dark zones are purple on the map, and inside these zones, buildings will be randomly targeted and potentially completely destroyed. The level of destruction varies and keeps the map dynamically changing constantly. Destroyed buildings will be crossed out on the map, which is helpful, because that way you know where you can still find good cover instead of being completely controlled by random factors. A new throwable, the sticky bomb, is available on the map. This bomb will enable you to blast so-called breach points that clearly stands out. The breach points will enable new players to push buildings and make the life of the guy sitting in a corner more difficult. The Panzerfaust featured in the trailer is not yet available on the map. Just like the spike traps in Season 5, it will come later during this season. Fighting inside buildings is going to be spiced up by being able to shoot through thin walls. Or you could just blow up the walls entirely. Again, something that makes the life of the guy waiting around the corner more difficult. As I already talked about in a video yesterday, gliders are now available on live servers, and these are the new spawn points. These images are made by player IGN, and I suggest you subscribe to his YouTube channel for hot PUBG data mined leaks. A new survivor pass called Shakedown is also starting with this Season 6, and will have new missions and weapon challenges like the previous one. Weapon challenge missions are for the Scorpion, Win94, QBZ, AKM and QBU. And yes, you can use the Win94 on the new map. A really cool feature that we needed for a long time is the ability to have burst weapons, such as the M16 and the Mutant, start in single fire instead of burst. You do this by selecting auto as your first preference and single as your secondary. Nice! To make room for the new map Karakin, Vikendi is being removed from the queues. It was by far the least popular map, so it makes sense to take it out for now. PUBG will instead focus on doing big improvements to Vikendi before it will make its return later on. This means that for the regions with map selection, you'll be able to pick Karakin instead of Vikendi. For North America, you'll be able to pick Karakin as it will be a featured map. And for the rest of the regions, Karakin will be put into the random map queue, and you'll have a 25% chance of getting it. You will still be able to play Vikendi in custom games, and here you will be able to enjoy the lower wind sound during night. For the mastery system, the PUBG ID will now be shown at the end of the match and while spectating players. But for some strange reason, your own PUBG ID is shown instead of the guy who killed you. I completely don't see the point of this. gun handling sound effects are being improved. Just listen to these crisp sound effects. Vaulting sounds have also been improved to be more realistic and to change based on the material you're vaulting over. When it comes to bug fixes, there's a few, however not the ones we need. We desperately needed a fix to the stutter problems introduced with patch 5.3, and this fix is not coming with this patch. This is simply not good enough. But this is not enough to remove my absolute excitement for this new map and the gliders. So many interesting things coming to PUBG right now, and completely groundbreaking that we now also have a 64-player map instead of 100. The new map is available right now on the test server, so get your butt in there and start blowing things up. If you like this video and want to be updated about all this new stuff coming to PUBG, subscribe to the channel and I'll see you guys next time.